I read from you now from the Book of Umar, Spoken Words and Page Poetry, first printed in 2019 by Umar Aziz, edited by Umar Aziz, written by Umar Aziz, covered by Umar Aziz, and later done by Umar Aziz. Printed soon. So the contents of this book are poems written by me from 2016, 2018. They're mostly shit. But if you perform in the right way, it's less shit. Wait, can I do that? The human attention is long enough for you to play with that if you say something in the beginning, hold the note for long enough, they'll forget what you said in the beginning. What did I say? The first one I'll do is called Come Home. Come home sounds like kampong. Every Malaysian will understand this reference, but exactly does come home turn to come home? We don't really know. Sometimes it takes moving out. Sometimes it takes a parent in one state and the other one in another. And sometimes it just happens that there's no turning back on a highway. You travel by knowing green, 365 kilometers away signs, exactly which turn to take and how much to pay, the touch and go, or smart tag if you have that. But then you forgot to top up. When distance is measured in way too far for the day trip, you plan which arenas to stop at because you stopped there once as a kid and now you've glorified it because now you have to stop there because if you don't, it's no longer a ritual, so you have to go there. Even though the food is kind of shit now, but like you as a kid thought it was the most amazing thing in the world. But still we go home until it's a kampong. Stilted houses overlooking dried out memories of a lifetime away to concrete walls and swaying high rises that steal themselves in a race only a mother who misses their child could ever feel, could ever know, while the child feels smothered yet holds on as tightly as they can, remembering not to do too much. Her arms that used to hold her at your shoulder, at her shoulder, now hold you as strong as she can, your feet firmly on the floor, a gentle reminder that she is getting older, is the creeping realization that she was always right, that her hair is turning white, she doesn't cook as much as before, and her voice, increasingly softening, calls of come home, it's you, come home, at least for a day, come home, come home, come home, home. Come home, come home, come home. I should have around 2 minutes left. This poem is for my grandma. It's called Lidah Tajam Bahasa Halus. Sometimes I'm scared I'll never be enough. I can't blame myself. I can't do much about it. I'm only half human. The other half of me hides behind locked doors to keep away the arguments too loud for a child's ears. So he shuts them tight. He covers them up with forgettery, false realities of it wasn't so bad. I got through it somehow. Jangan fikir banyak sangat. While an echo jumping through the rafters silently whispers into his ears, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Who hurt you? I did, you did, but it's okay, it's okay. It's the hurt that builds you. It's okay, it's the good for you. It's the hurt that builds you. Something better, it says, trying to convince itself. You always dished out constructive criticism, like an overabundant use of pepper spray. A serving I could never learn to swallow, I would choke. Tears would come out of my eyes and you would smile and say, hey, it was good for me. It will help me grow. It's a hurt that builds character. It will help me grow. So I held on because it would help me grow. Showed you wholesome kernels of argument, soaked overnight and unrushed, ungrounded, unashamed, so that you keep your smile and I could breathe. It will help me grow. We are told that revenge is a dish served to cold. Tok wan selalu tegur, pantang hidangkan makanan yang sejuk kepada kamu. So instead, to help me grow, I will serve you love and show you what you have been missing out on. Problem is, how do I create the dish? I don't remember how it tastes like. Thank you very much. And with 10 seconds left to spare, I will just play one note for you. It's called one note.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much, Umar. If that's one word to describe how I'm feeling right now, that's homesick. And I feel very homesick. All right, next one is Mochi. A broke student, Mochi, not her real name. She writes about things that are bothering her and puts in a bit of Mochi flair in it. Born and bred in KL, she's the most introverted, reckless driver you will ever question befriending. Aspiring to become a part-time writer and a full-time traveler, Mochi writes to make sure she is sane like her comic in Fixie's Little Bastard 2018 and her poetry in If Walls Could Talk anthology. When I say spoken word, you say word. Mochi.
Hello. Hi. Very nervous a little bit. I have a piece, but there's a lot of swearing in it. So I made a new one. Right. My mother told me that if you love somebody, you give them your all. No matter how big or how small, you have to stand firm and tall. You have to be there when they call. You have to be strong like a wall. But walls break and shatter, and bit by bit, it don't really matter because you forget to love yourself. Putting your own problems on the shelf, telling people it's nothing. The problem is everything. As the days go by, you start to feel like you're drowning, but you realize you stop frowning on empty seats and unheld hands. But there's still this pain in my chest, like cancer building a nest. In your body that you once said was a temple, haunting you until you go mental. So I should breathe and take in the troubles of the world, swallowing these nails until I want to hurl, until all I can do is curl up into a ball of agony and pain, having too many restraints because if I move, I might just pop. And all of my guts will flow non-stop because there's too much on my plate, and you and I can't relate to each other's waves of agony because my perception of reality is broken. They say addiction is hard to break because it pulls you in like a sultry snake. And you were the hardest addiction that I had to let go. As we fight, you would always say, no, stay, give me company. But I couldn't any longer because the more I loved you, the more I forget to wonder. And falling into blunders seems easier because you're always there to catch me. As I fall and I fall, you were like a cloud made of water and a shroud. You seemed so soft, but ever disappeared. As I get closer, you became endearing, pulling me in like the addiction you are, making me feel like I'm high up like a star. In your world, you were the sun, I was the earth. I was just there to give you purpose. But us, our love gave birth. But I didn't see it as something broken. I didn't see it as love stolen. I didn't see it as the past forgiven. With new love, it seems so sweet. You see it as an organized shelf, clean and neat. I see it as chaos that needed to be saved. The constant longing that I gave, but what can I take it like I take it towards my hair? When I would hide it and I would compare how someone can have beautiful long locks while mine looks like a pile of socks, but I wouldn't care to shave everything off. And now, I want to take it back. keep it safe so there's no cracks. This love is for me. Love for my sanity, how I need to fix my own reality because addiction is tough. First soft and supple, now hard and rough. When I tried to break free, I lost a sense of me, a sense of glee, and how I should be. Love and addiction became one where I can't live without the other, remembering the times we spent during the summer as I hold you tight and I call you name at night like an addiction. I couldn't let go. So like an addiction, I slowly break the mold, finding myself because I'm made of gold. To my addiction, I say thank you. Because of it, I feel brand new, knowing I passed the point of hitting rock bottom. And now, all I'm gonna feel is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mochi. Before we continue, I would like to remind everyone, please put your phones on silent. Yeah, okay. Okay, the next one, we have Jack Malik. Yeah, we got Jack Malik is a poet from Ipoh, affiliated with, there's a lot coming up. Project Rawak, Ipoh City of Love, My Jackers, and Poets Passport Malaysia. He has been published in a few local poetry anthologies such as English Jazz 100 Home, Caterpillars Tukang Puisi, Himpunan 55 Penulis Muda Malaysia, and Skinny Walks When I Say Spoken You Say Word. His works and interview has also been featured in Ridwan Said's zine, Kerja Tangan Issue 4. Currently, he's doing his Masters in Malay Studies at University of Malaya. And I would like to invite Jack. Jack?
Jack gitu. Okay,
Belum.
okay, no, I don't have fun today. Hi, my name is Jack Malik. I'm from Project Rawak, Post Passport Malaysia, Takers, and City of Love. So anyway, just a trivia. Today Rawak turned 8 years old. Rawak dah jadi dua. Okay.
Rabak tu siapa?
No, it's a collective. Project Rawak is a collective I'm affiliated with, founded by Umar Aziz, and he's now currently doing kedutaan Ipoh in Jakarta. So, kita borak-borak bersama itu. Tonight I will be reciting 2 pieces. One new shade and one old shade. So the first piece is for my friend. So she's there, Farah, my friend. So the title, Kirenyams with a skin. It's called Surat Cinta untuk Miss Farah. And also, if you're a school teacher and you're feeling down, this is a love letter for you. Hatinya diperbuat daripada alat tulis, kertas kajang, dan cinta. Pen beraneka warna miliknya walaupun ada 1-2 telah kehabisan dakwat. Antara lelah dan gagah, dia tak kisah. Pensel patah boleh asal tapi semangat patah, macam mana kita nak apa-apa? Kerana dia tahu menjadi pendidik bermakna 2 benda ini tak dapat dipisahkan, jadi dia pilih tabah untuk terus menanda markah dan masa. Melipat kertas-kertas kajang sebagaimana dia melipat segala ralat dan rasa berat, dia cuba tak fikirkan sangat pasal syarat penat. Lebih pasal berkat dan cinta dan kasih sayang yang kekurangan dalam dunia ini, dan bagaimana kita amat memerlukannya daripada semua orang. Bagaimana anak-anak tingkatan yang meningkat dari remaja ke awal dewasa memerlukan kasih dan sayang dan cinta kita, dan bagaimana percubaan untuk mengajar mereka menjadi manusia telah memerah segala keringat dan kesabaran dia. Tangis disembunyikan dalam darah, dan darah naik turun dari marah yang ditunda, dan segala hal-hal lain di antara waktu kerja, belajar, balik rumah, kuliah, rehat dan ulang. Dia sedang cuba. Tuhan pun tahu dia sedang cuba. Dan hati dia sebenarnya lebih sekadar alat tulis terpakai. Kertas yang ronyok dilipat dan rasa kelat tertinggal membuat dia tak larat lagi untuk menelan apa jua sakit bagi perasaan yang terlekat untuk hari itu. Tapi dia cuba juga untuk penuhkan hatinya dengan cinta, dengan penerimaan, dengan harapan-harapan yang memberi salam macam morning teacher, thank you teacher, we love you teacher, cheer we miss you, I want to be just like you cheer, oh cheer you, so nice, cheer the best, dan doa-doa yang kedengaran seperti nama anak-anak murid ditulis ke dalam buku kehadiran jiwanya. Seperti suara mereka terselit antara lipatan rindu yang menyelinap semasa cuti sekolah panjang dan siang masih belum lagi tahu untuk bertatih ke arah senja. Seperti dirinya cuba untuk penuhkan hatinya dengan cahaya dan cinta agar di setiap ruang dia tahu dia dah lakukan yang terbaik. Walaupun yang terbaik kadang-kadang kelihatan lebih seperti pertanyaan berbanding penyelesaian. Bukan kita tak kenal usaha macam mana, tapi macam mana rupa cukup. Jadi dia pun cuba dengan sepenuh hati alat tulis kertas kajang dan cintanya menjadi apa yang dia terima. Dan dia pun tahu dia sedang mencuba. Dia sedang mencuba. Thank you. I think spoken word in English, in Bahasa Melayu is picking up, so let's try that. It's not a new thing. It's because Malaysian literature, maybe Malay or Chinese or Indian, I believe has always been oral. So that's why it's spoken word. Spoken word basically is just poetry that's need to be spoken. So why not do it in Malay, in a new craft, right? So anyway, the next piece and last from him for tonight, maybe, is it's a piece very close to me. It's about journey, and someone really close to me reminds me that poem stops becoming a poem and it becomes an answer. And a French poet once said that a poem is never finished, only abandoned. So there is Paul Valéry, if I'm not mistaken, the 17th, 18th century poet from France. So this poem is called Unfinished. We collect questions, collect shelves, collect time and desks. Embracing each waiting and asking, because if every question marks the beginning of a goal, and there's a journey and destination over it. You know what? Everything in a way is an arrival. This poem is no answer and doesn't want to be one. Our poets before me have said this before, and therefore I am part of a collective memory that's traveled across legacies, and together, without meanings, manifest as shared thoughts. All this coming into existence as we conjure sound, poetry, speaking the language of moments, feelings. We magicians, soothsayers, wordsmiths, masters of ceremonies, parents that lullaby their children and their children's children to read, but your egg-crawling words that mountain into more questions, then dispersing into understanding that poems suggest poems, suggest poems, suggest words, suggest poems, suggest words, suggest words, suggest efforts, suggest poems, suggest words, suggest words, suggest efforts, suggest efforts, suggest words, suggest efforts, suggest poems, suggest poems, suggest poems, suggest proof that we have tried our best to find a way to say the unsayable, to give voice to the mute and silence that we have all known too well and so long. We, language weavers, tap rocking on our fingers on holy typewriters and divine keyboards, churning sentences on the scrolls that are void and nothing, and ciphers and ciphers whisper lines like windmills and baby swipes. How beagles and b-boys circle in dervishes, breaking to the DJs, get down footworking. Our bodies, our bodies, our bodies, sex, creation, flow speeders, rhyme singers, we finger snappers and cadence breakers, we have died, live and live, live, rewriting and reciting and recollecting train of thoughts that train our mind and taught our hearts. Our language has caught our imagination and brought us to write our chapters and volumes that were kept on the shelves of existence, summarizing what we are and we are kun. Kaf, wow, nun, kun, fayakun, signs of truth, al-haqqos, we are part of the kun that was made by the beloved when he said jadi, maka jadi, thus will be more than accumulated questions, answers left for just to find an unmarked time to resolve will be poetry. Be life, be nothing. Will be nothing so bad that nothing becomes beautiful, so will be beautiful. We who have lived and died and resurrected, becoming even more questions, contemplating, less not knowing, and now more of going and asking. But this home is no answer. This home is air, sound. Eerie and silence I found voice through a young poet that has answers looking more like questions, and his questions resemble so much like an unfinished shelf. Maybe you will abandon this piece. Like even more time and thus like questions like waiting, marking another go. But at least he tried speaking another fragment of himself into becoming maybe feelings, moments, nothingness, poetry, or meanings. Brought with me so many questions. So many of us before me, and like so many of us before me. Like so many of us before me. I am still waiting to arrive. So my name is Malik from Syarifah. My book is coming out this Pesta Buku. The title Sajak Jajak. Under Caterpillar. So grab yours today, and also a new interview by Caterpillar. So grab yours today.
Zin ada tak Zin?
Zin is Caterpillar. But yeah. So thank you again. I think the chit chat.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Jack, next we have Rifqi. Rifqi is a 16-year-old average student with a big dream but small tools to craft said dream. He likes to write poetry, view the world in metaphors, and photography. So I'd like to invite Rifqi.
Hi everyone. I think I was going after the introduction, but I just went earlier. So this poem is actually for someone that was supposed to be here, but he couldn't make it. But it's for him nonetheless. This one is called Untitled. I can't begin to explain the magnitude of feelings that overcome me when I see you. But with a heavy heart and with a heavier soul, this is my pen. It's like my heart has recognized you beyond just presence, but something more delicate and something worth beating for. You are that someone that my heart is worth beating for. The heart beats erratically, dancing at the sound of the laughter that's ringing in your ears, in my ears. The kind of laughter you have, it makes you jump from your seat, pull your head back, a sound like sirens of the sea, calling and begging me to come closer, then flood my ears with music so familiar to the heart and to the soul. I wonder if he knows just how beautiful he is. If he knows just how pretty his asymmetrical eyes look when the sun cascades over him, how ethereal he looks when his hair is just really messy. I feel the warmth coursing through me like 1,000 infinite hugs being given to me. Wonder if he knows his antics and actions are the small little details left unrecognized by the eyes of the world. What I felt was like a beautiful and golden city, vast in silence, absent of any noise or emotion. The only thing you could hear is the screaming of the heartache I felt. The violence there so played, messing with the forces I hope to care for. For every beat, a crack in the sky opens up. And for every crack, a scar is laced upon my heart like a piercing sword through it, making my soul shiver in hurt. This is where I place myself. Because I remember holding your hand. I remember the times we spent, the words you said, I've never met anyone like you. The words they fit because you don't have a clue. You never knew how I felt, the emotion raw, my chest hollow, the love overflowing, me scared. I was surrounded by an ocean of misfortunes, a sea where I was bound to live in, slowly drown, and adapt to survive, but I felt like I could no longer do this. I had to do something about it. You gave me signals like ocean waves that overlap each other and move in 1,000 million directions. Maybe I could tell you. Perhaps save myself, hoping that our stars just might align. And I did. I told him with the language of the universe and spoke from every corner of my heart, exhaling galaxies as I spoke. Until now, he reminds me of the color purple, a bruised heart of mine beating for no one but him. The one that fades, or the one that feeds the life within me. Like sorrows, they clutch at my veins, breaking each and every one. But I'm still alive. I continue to live, but my greatest mistake was falling for someone like you. Someone I could never have. I hope my love arrives and stays, leaves when it's supposed to. And I'll say thanks for stopping by. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Next. Thank you so much. Next, I would like to invite Syarifah Norsofuha. Did I say that right? Yeah. Marican. She started writing when she was 10. Since she was 10, through words written, she was able to find herself. So yes, please take a seat.
Hello guys. At first, I don't know where I am here. I'm so nervous, but now I feel like this is home.
Oh.
And it's called okay, so it's called Depression is Not a Thing. Okay, hope you guys enjoy the reading. I grew up having depression. The ignorant people call it as a simple tension. But it sounds familiar, doesn't it? We all go through it. Something not to be feared. People think it's just a word exaggerating stress, assuming depressed people are just a bunch of mess. I was too young to understand what it meant. Each time depression strikes, I feel the needle being poked like spikes. Growing up being abused mentally and physically, felt bruises behind my back, purple and black. I was kicked and jumped on my chest and left with no breath. When I was a kid, the language that I learned from the curse of my mother. My face was in all color of suffering, blood streaming from my head because I was bitten up with anger. I had pain, searching for pure love. The more I searched, the bigger the anger. So I was bound to use the anger into a medium to punish me. That's how the people around me show how much I deserve. Just to be beaten up and cursed like I am no human. So I taste no love. Never to receive, I was unable to love my very own me. Depression became my best friend. Depression taught me that even for the smallest mistake, I should be punished. For people to exploit me, maybe it's okay. My real mother is the reason for the art of cut lines on my skin. I was broken, in pain, to my very core. I had no support system, and my mental awareness was hijacked by a condition called depression. I was not brave to verbally express myself, so I chose to express the pain by sitting in the dark, telling my story in the form of writing with the blade, blood as the ink, skin as the canvas, and I wrote it on the sleeve of my hand. Sometimes the stories were just too many, so I wrote them all over my body. I needed to see the physical damage. That's how they fixed my image, broken and to suffer. I suffered from an autoimmune disease, severely attacking my body, and unstable hormones fluctuating. With my family destroying me, I knew that I had to make one single choice, whether to build my very own support system or to die without fighting. Choose to fight back against my real mother and my family. No matter how much I love them still, they can no longer hurt me because I am the core of my system and I am the product of my decisions. No hearsays shall fracture my spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, my name wouldn't be called today. In fact, it will be written on the headstone of my grave 7 years ago if my depression wasn't treated before. Depression is not a thing. It is a condition, a type of mental disorder that can severe from time to time. With constant pressure and sufficient ignorance, it can be too late for you to lose the people that you love or to end people's lives. You can choose to either save or kill people like us, like me. Thank you.
Okay, wow. I have to speak after that. Okay. All right. We have one act before we take a short break, and that is Sheena Baharudin. Sheena is a performance poet, writer, and educator. She is the author of Rhymes for Mending Hearts 2013 and All the Bodies We've Embraced 2017. She has participated in both solo and ensemble performances at various events, including Urbanscapes, East Carnival Festival, Malacca Arts Festival, Kuala Lumpur Festival, Georgetown Literary Festival, and Singapore's Lit Up Festival. A lot of festivals. Her works have been translated to Spanish and French and have also been featured in several local and international anthologies. She currently hosts season 2 of BFM's Speak Easy. So without further ado, Sheena, Azam.
Hello everyone. Hello. I am Sheena Baharudin, and yeah. So let's start with something a little bit like something short. Then we'll start with something short. Then we'll go for the longer pieces. Yeah. Okay. After doing this for 10 years, still I keep on saying this. Every time when I do it, I am so nervous. I'll never go away. You can do it. All right. Okay. So why do I do poetry? Let's think about it. We all do words, right? So what is words? What are words? Words, words, words. Words are a 4-year-old boy named Ali who knew that love is when you're one and only. Say your name in a way that is just different. You know that you are now safe and sound in the deepest corners of your mouth. Just like mothers, smiling hearing the kids calling them mama, or how young lovers believe in the sanctity of the word called forever, see their heart blossoming like spring with absolutely no recollection of the previous winter. These words are a series of punctuation marks. It is a comma of a curled finger. It is a question mark of stolen kisses that linger. It is an exclamation point of a pulled trigger. It is an ellipsis of purposely omitted parts of your speech because some words are better left out. of your reach, because words are the writings on the walls, spread graffiti by Banksy, curses and all. They are rebels, like kids skipping classes to skip pebbles, like water breaking through concrete, like words, roots of trees overtaking temples and forgotten streets, like waves that smell of warm, wet sand. So with a flute in his hand, words to the pipe piper, who cues a cue of lumps in your throat, just to let you know that we are all islands trying to keep ourselves afloat. So no matter how much pain that you choose to cope, you are never really alone in your sadness. So write your words. Write your words like how the spoken word poets write their words, treating each word as a name, carefully written down on the page before spoken out loud on the stage, just like birds who set them free from their cages and see them fly back to the ones who will hear them being said once again in a way that is just different. Let them know how I am letting you know now that your names are safe and sound in the deepest corners of my mouth. Thank you. Okay, we can do this. Okay, so let's do another short one because I told Amelia I'm going to do 2 poems. So I'll do 1 long and 2 short. So about that. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. All right, second one. Let me think, what do I want to do? I know what I'm doing. Okay, let's do something. We will do this one that I wrote because I had a dream. And in that dream, it was so scary, guys. In that dream, I was in front of 2 gurus. You know, gurus. It's like one of those, like, I don't know, they're very like spiritual healers. And I felt that something took over me. And it was so funny, but I woke up from my sleep laughing. And then the poem came. I want to hear or not. Okay. All right, so you guys know about the song Malik? All right. It's okay, we're not anywhere near the sea. But you guys know how it goes? Right? No? Okay, let's try it. If you want to sing with me. Bismillah first, no? So it goes something like this. My voice is not good, but we'll try. Mayang di dengan jalan Aku tahu asal usul, though you have forgotten your roots. Ule, mayangku ule, in sleep you remember their names. Ule dengan jala jemala, in sleep and in dreams you know they are healers. Yang laut, balik ke laut, who walk between 2 worlds, yang darat, balik ke darat, of the living and the dead. Nasib berwarna hamba sembahkan, they speak in an ancient tongue. Umbo, mayangku umbo, they make the unknown known. Umbo dengan jala jemala. And for one brief moment, Ule, mayangku Ule, you know who you are again. Ule balik, sedia kala. You remember. Thank you. I asked Amy about it. Like I asked Amelia and Andy, you said below, no? What poem you want me to perform? And then she said Hantu Tete. And so I need to do a very quick vote. So I want to see a count of hands. How many of you have not heard Hantu Tete? Oh, yeah. All right. So this one is written in 3 tongues, in 3 languages. And it's about the kind of ghost that people tell you at about 7 o'clock.
Can we record this?
Oh, silakan. Alright. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll see how this goes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. كل المؤمنين يغضوا من أبصارهم. Sons of Adam, you have failed me. You have failed me and your God who told you since the olden days to tundo, lower your gaze, respect the lineage of Eve and Hawa. Tinutundok pa ng mata was what God told you, but that you did not do. Instead, they call me my names and never once about me. They call me names like Hantu Tete and Hantu Kope, and through these giggles and laughter while you are showing disrespect. Forgetting everything that I taught you when you were young will let me refresh your memory, Sayam. You did not laugh when you were hungry for milk. Instead, you cried as loud as you could, not out of love, but out of a genuine fear of death. Let me remind you of the power of a woman's love, and especially the power of her wrath. To the names behind the stories, as I know how to tell them best. Now, contrary to popular belief, I am more than just the sum of my parts, and certainly I am more than just this part of my body. God, who taught Adam the names of all things, did not show him a woman only to hear him say, breasts. Do not laugh. Sit down, read your holy book. Iqra wa rabbukal akram. And certainly Adam knew what he meant when he called me Eve, the mother of all living things. Because you see, I sing songs of divine femininity, and maybe that is why men fear me. Perhaps I remind them of the fact that they came from the in-between of their mother's shivering thighs, and that they have survived simply from the nourishment that came from their mother's tits. Yeah, you see, I am the greatest mystery. And maybe that is why they are scared of me. Now, if fear of a name increases the fear of the thing itself, then fear me. But my name is Mahsuri, the woman whose gushes of darah putih caused by the tombak, not by the bridge of the keris, was not blood, but rather it was a milk that was meant for my child. And as fast as the milk was drained from my body, so too did my curse drain the fertile soils of Pulau Langkawi. Fear me, for my name is Bumi. You used to call me Gaia, I am still your evil Pertiwi. Fear me, for I am the mother of all your prophets. I am Yocheved, the mother of Moses. I am Mariam, the mother of Jesus. I am Hagar. I am Hajar. Si ibu yang menarik dari bukit ke bukit mencari air untuk diminum oleh aku, bukan si Ismail. You see, the miracle of Zamzam was meant for me so that I could in turn feed him back into existence. I am Jannah. I am paradise, I am shurgawi, and within me fiha anharun min ma'in ghayrin asin wa anharun min laban lamin khayr. And far from the reaches of hell's fire are both rivers of milk and water within me whose taste will never change. So why do you think that you could change my name? Sons of Adam. The sum of all my parts were created by a very generous God. The same God who told you then and still tells you now. Tundo. 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 Lower your gaze and show some respect to your mother. Thank you very much.
About 5 times. Like literal goosebumps. Okay, we're going to take a little break now before we continue. We're selling some stuff for you to eat in the kitchen. We have fries and sausages and buns, I think. So please go ahead to the kitchen. You have free flow drinks also on the other side of the hall. So I'll call you back when you're ready to the second session. I'm setting the sorry.
You are very generous. very strong community. In 2016, before we got here, we had a small office in Atria. That was when we restarted our tuition-like debate class. And the first month we had 10 students only. And the 10 students, we had one trainer, and that class was held at one of the parents' house. So during the first month, I was lobbying, and I managed to get 40 students the second month, and during the first month we decided to open a new office. It was in Atria, and today we have close to 150 students. Hence we're here because the whole office wasn't big enough. I'm happy. So actually that was it. That was the introduction. Actually, this is an announcement. That's Azim. This is an announcement actually. I've been called in to join the government agency, but that's not the announcement. The announcement is that there will be a new CEO of MIDP. This CEO was that one trainer who stayed on since when we had 10 students, before we got 40 students, and we went on to 50. The same trainer as an old friend, an old debate teammate, a legal advisor for my businesses, then business partner. And for all this, I'd like to express my gratitude to the next CEO of MIDP, Ms. Emilia Sharif. I don't do that. I should have done that. No, before we start. But yeah, whatever. So yeah, and I'm thank you, Alison. Right. I'm only looking at the guitar, but just because I'm holding on to it doesn't mean that I can play very well. Not very good at this, but I can sing a little bit. So wait, I really need to manage expectations. So don't expect performances as great as the poets before me. Sheena, I really like the performance. It was really good. I don't know if you remember the play and you sang with me once. Is she even here?
She's outside.
Ah, shame. Okay, never mind. I'll tell later. Right, so the song that I need to play, it's an old song. It's called Buta Cinta by Spring. So if you don't know this song, just enjoy. But if you know it, please feel free to sing along. And plus, I'm God sending as well. Everyone is doing the whole poem and all that, so it should be refreshing.
Also, you're bad.
Right, I'll start now.
Sing now.
Berapa lama kalau... Can I start again? That was the wrong chord. Berapa lama kau lagi terpaksa aku menanti sehingga tegurnya pendirian di hati. Bukan hanya kepentingan, malahan keegoan telah ku korbankan. Berlimpahan kasih sayang aku curahkan buatmu seorang. Kiranya semua itu tak memadai bagimu. Apa sebenarnya yang kau mahu? Ku tak tahu. Kau hilang bila ku tiba, kau datang bila ku kecewa, terasa diri dipersendam. Permainan sandiwaramu Jika benar cinta itu butakan mataku. Ku menunggu. Last part, please sing along. Cinta itu jaga apalah artinya penantian ini hanya sia-sia. Thank you very much. I know it was terrible. Right, let's say thank you.
Me again.
Thank you, man.
All right, so we will continue, and our next performer is Kimchi Lai. So Kimchi started writing last year from a dare to improv a piece on her lecture's name during class. Since then, she has performed at Urban Stage 2018, featured at Oral Fixation, and most recently won third place in the Southeast Asia Slam Literary Festival. She is very excited to be here. We are too, and hopes to one day figure out how to make Cantonese sound angry. Kimchi Lai. Wait, I just realized, also like Kimchi Lai.
That was a great joke. Never been made before. This first piece, okay, so there's a theme, right? If I'm not wrong, never will I ever again. Right, so this first piece is about my ex. Never will I ever again do a piece about my ex. And also do my ex. Right? Okay. This morning, I was woken up by a jolt of pain in my stomach. It hit me like an oncoming super speed trying to stand up, but my limbs refused to work with my brain, so in the end, I threw up. The remnants of last night's funny spiraling down the drain. I know, an appetizing image. Speaking of pains, you did art, didn't you? Throwing brush after pencil into your cart, and you drew robots and things that didn't have anything remotely to do with my heart, but you drew it right out of my chest, coming into the air every time our eyes met, and I knew from the moment that you texted me what happened to, because my heart went doom, da-da, doom, da-da, doom, da-da, doom. Can you hear that? Doom, da-da, doom, da-da, doom, da-da, doom. Dari padaku, nampakmu, wajahmu, odaraku, tahu. I knew for a fact that I had to have you. That was a rap song, or was it a sad song? It didn't last that long, but how I long for that feeling in my chest so tight, everything you've ever said in fluorescent neon lights, so before you could blink, my heart took flight, and since then, your face has never left my brain's sight. So as I stand here alone, struggling to press every single letter, I am twitching by the second, about to double over. Different parts of my stomach groan and groan as the ripple of suffer grows and grows. You're a quadruple. Your love gives me force. We quarrel all day and only feel remorse when we're tired and droopy and out of course words, cause words are meant to be simple. And arguments make us less of a war. So now I feel funny, but you I will always adore. And then you opened up a door, so I let myself into the darkest depths of your charisma, and I couldn't breathe. Emotional as my heart became weak, losing the stamina to push on. And talking to you soon became a chore. I think we're both equally at fault for turning every conversation into verbal assault. Other issues and people added sugar and salt like religion and relatives, but we always swore we would sort it all out, even though we knew one day it would all come to a halt. So this morning, I was woken up by a jolt of pain, but it was from here, cramping up my arteries and my veins. I thought I was going insane, so I reached for my phone to get you to explain why I felt so shitty, and then it hit me. Yeah, you just me like a departing super speed train.
That food poisoning is caused by an agitated stomach and brain, and heartbreak is the realization that all your feelings were in vain, leaving you to wonder if you'll ever love again. Thank you. I did. So this is a piece about the place that I grew up in, and it's for someone that's not from this side of town.
The ocean.
Okay, I'll check my own part. I want to show you Cheras at 11 p.m. when the bulk of people will seem to have evaporated, retreating perhaps behind the bulky televisions, playing grainy Hong Kong dramas, or into the creaky mattresses that hold decades of recipes for the perfect lei cha, or popia, or method of child discipline. I will hold your hand and bring you to my favorite banh mi stall by the side of the street in Yulin, where no amount of overpriced mac and cheese and poke bowls in Snooty Suba will be able to comprehend the way the flat strands of flour fall into a concoction brewed with ikan bilis and tireless perseverance. Everything starts early here. The houses stir by 4 a.m., pushing out busy hawkers and mahjong aunties to wet markets that only leave behind pink and orange plastic bags, dotting the ugly roads with suggestions of their presence. They do not understand. Clasped palms and wrinkled noses from laughing at petrified teenage girls spotting a cockroach scuttling down a drain into a black hole of bad sanitization, where they are probably laughing with all the rats and maybe the occasional frog. For them, the crack of dawn is a comforting guarantee that they have been given another chance at making the most out of things, whether it is in a haphazard game of chua tai pi at the food court or a 3-kilo bag of tofu pork that took 10 minutes of haggis to procure. But if you ask me, I will tell you, luck for me begins when the sun sets. When the crowds melt away and it is dark enough for me to ignore the questioning eyes on the back of my head, or even later, when the hawker stalls seal the day into their push carts, dust off the wheels and pull down the timber shutters, when the only light I can see comes in the form of your eyes, brighter than the flashy LED taillight of a passing Protovera, driven by an abe in his late 30s. And I will cup your face with my hands, shielding your smile from the rest of the world in a silent protest against this night coming to an end. Thank you! My last piece is also on theme. Never will I ever again go to college because I finished it. How long ago was college for you guys? Long. 2 years. I should not have asked that question, but let's take a trip down memory lane. Okay. Context: I went to college in a place called Help, and my course was called Help Matriculation Center. That's all the context we need. Dear Malay girl from HMC, which stands for Help Matriculation Center, but frankly, it should be Help, mostly Chinese. From the moment I saw you fumbling with your student ID, student number B1607433, I knew, like every new student asked to participate in an ice-breaking activity, I was screwed. Intermediate English was a bore. I spent the first few weeks paying zero attention because I was too busy trying to get a second one right. You dreaming or not? Of course you are, and I was, because I didn't care about words as long as you were the subject. Truly, every grammatical error that you made sounded correct to me, and when I was asked to pronounce S-O-U-L-M-A-T-E, I said your name. Because like they go to war and I go to wars, we were meant to be, and impressing you was not easy, like a complicated class of business studies, because honestly, your birthday present cost a bomb. I'm still bearing the money from that one stupid limited edition style with the flowers on top. That wasn't even that nice. Okay, but the profit brought to an equilibrium, I guess, because I got to kiss you on the cheek, which turned you into a hot, blushing mess pillar. I swear, Jesus Christ, I'm so blessed. I might sound reluctant, but I suppose that gift was small and worth the investment. When we got together, I wished culture, arts, and politics had been, and all interracial love should not be obscene, and I could hold your hand in public without minding being seen, because I don't need lectures like to remember the Holocaust, how bad the damage was after. I remember Tunku Abdul Rahman, Malaysia's founding father. I remember how talking like this is part of my culture. And as for art, well, you are my Mona Lisa. And our first flight was like Mets. I didn't know what in the world was going on. I just wanted it to be over, but I didn't want to admit that my answers were wrong either. So I just sat there in silence, trying to think of something clever that will only lasted an hour and a half, but it felt like forever until I finally caved. I apologized because I realized that the formula lies in your 1.0 pilot gel pen-like eyes. Your smile is the most perfect quadratic graph I'm willing to try to understand me more and just to make you laugh, because despite all the problems that we have, you mean so much to me and how. So you see, loving you is like foundation in arts classes, and assignments are clearly not the best parts. No, you are like the breaks in between class. You are the adrenaline rush upon scoring full marks. You are the excited run towards the food trucks regardless of rain or sun. I found myself the day I met you, and sure enough, for one. Kimchi Lai, and if you are interested in spoken word poetry like this, and you are single or you have a date on Valentine's Day next month, you should know when Valentine's Day is, right? Because college was 2 years ago for you guys, right? So Valentine's Day next month, there is a show, there is an open mic show called Jacket. And for Jacket, it is at Intonation TPI. You can come ask me or Afi or Amar, raise your hands. And the featured act will be Malik and his lovely, lovely girlfriend, who is also a poet, Jacket Farah. So they will be featuring, and please come and watch, please come and support your local. Okay, thank you, have a great night.
Okay, thank you so much, Kimchi, for that. Next, I would like to invite Terence Aaron. Terence first did stand-up comedy when he first learned to stand upright and realized life was a joke. After hosting comedy nights during his university days, he started going to open mics. Right. He has shared stages with Kevin J and Andrew Neto, but doubt you remember him. He is part of a comedy troupe called did I say it? Yeah. Called Sarah Lawa, and is fully aware it is a horrible pun. Yes. His biggest comedy-related achievement is when some Vietnamese guy stole a joke of his and garnered thousands of likes in subtle Asian traits. Okay. Terence.
Right, I didn't share a stage with Kevin J. Kevin J shared a stage with me. Yeah, so I just recently moved to KL, and some of my friends asked me, like, how do you live in KL? The racism there is bad. But in my opinion, that's part of young. That's the trade-off you have to get. I mean, you don't go to Bali and complain about the drug Australians. You don't watch Disney movies and complain about how they glorify monarchies. But instead, you look at how you can get a prince in the future. You know, I wish that was one of the screens that I'm not. Before this, we had a bunch of eloquent speakers who could really talk, and I do feel some kind of pressure. So before we start, I think the room needs to be someone move a bit. Why don't you go like to the person next to you, shake hands to them, greet them, just stop that a bit, ask them where you're from. This is a good start here. Anyway, like Anne said, my name is Terence. I know I don't look like a Terence. I look sort of like Malay, and I'm so Malay that I graduated from UITM. I'm so Malay that when I sweat, you can smell the road 95. I'm so Malay that if I walk into UTC, some guy will walk in and ask me, "Bang, kamu dia kat mana?" I have that abang counter look. But if I walk into Zouk, I would say, "Oh, who in my life?" So yeah. Well, technically, I'm academics. Like my dad's Hidayu. Somewhere up there, apparently there's Portuguese somewhere, but I don't believe the story. My mom's side, Iban Chinese. I know most of you don't understand those words, so I tend to lie and say I'm Filipino. So sometimes I put on an accent. So did you go back to vote for the election? And I told them, yeah, I did go back to vote for the election. My senator was Malik. And people would ask me, why did you vote for him? Isn't he like a Duterte supporter, and I don't think that you are against drugs in general. So I tell them, well, he have a lot of very good job programs. What kind of job programs? He give left job, right job, protect the country. All these actions. It works for some reason. So I tend to keep up with that. But then when I reach here, people thought I was Thai instead. But anyway, let's move on with other things. So a friend of mine, I don't know if she's here, Chloe, she told me that most of your jokes aren't that intellectual. Most of your jokes are sort of dick jokes. And I do agree, they're not that smart. I tend to sound a bit more smart because I learned big words from law school, but I just use them, but I don't know what do they mean. Half of them, to be honest, is bullshit. That's how you can charge you a lot. Like, you have to figure out what does it mean, all that, go back, do some research, and next thing you know, you're bankrupt for the next 2 months. So that's my life in general. So let me start with let me come to a compromise and try to figure out an intellectual dick joke instead. So I come from a very conservative family, so that's why I can pretend to be a Filipino, because I sort of know bits and pieces of the Filipino culture when I make them in charge. Well, I don't go to church, I was forced to go to church. But anyway, so you'll meet a lot of conservative friends. You'll make a lot of conservative friends in church. And I had a friend who, he told me that he didn't want to get married with his fiancée after he found out that she slept with another man, which I think was really wrong. She loves him. Like, why did you decide not to? And he told me that, well, if I were to sleep with her, that means my D has probably touched on someone else's D. That means it's indirect dick touching, which I thought was kind of weird. It should be normalized because, okay, let me ask you something. When you go to the toilet, what do you touch? Have you shaken hands with your dad before? So that means all of you in this room have actually done indirect dick touching, and I tried all of you to do that like 2 minutes ago. All of you literally did that, but it isn't that bad. That means if you are shaking hands with your dad is shaking hands with your granddad. The foundation of our civilization was built on dick touching. You have indirectly touched the dick of Adam and Steve. All of that. But it's not just on your back. Take it to the future. That means you have indirectly touched the dick of the person who's going to Mars. The dick of the person who's going to push forward our civilization, the trust and penetrate to the deepest ends of space and fill up positions most of us couldn't. That's the future. And you should go out there, touch more dicks. Okay, so next slide. Okay, all right. So let me tell you one more joke. It's sort of related to MIDP. So MIDP once ran this event called the World's University Debating Championship. So they had one specific night called the comedy night. I think this was back in 2015, way back then. So a friend of mine, Azam, he works here, but I'm not sure where he is now. He's in Thailand. All right. So he told me, Terence, come over, perform. It's a 400-seat venue. People are gonna love it. Just do whatever you did before. Whatever should have done in open mics before, just do it. It will work. So went there. I told the MC, my name is Terence Aaron. He looked at me, looked like Terence. You're too brown. I mean, the crowd was mostly white, so I understand. All right, okay, whatever you do, just try to pronounce it in some way to make it sound exotic. So, it suits the skin tone. So the MC got his mic, I was sitting inside the stage. Next up, coming through all the way from Borneo. Terence Aaron! Came on stage. Smoke machine everywhere, like you can see the smoke. Remember, it was like a 400-seat venue. I was so excited to speak to a large crowd. And I'm just about to open up for a bunch of other comedians from all over the world, from Ireland, from South Africa. smoke cleared. 30 people. And my friend at the back there, my friends at the back there, Albert and Izzat, they were trying their best to somehow give me support, going with the least enthusiastic, hey. No, it was so quiet. It was like really quiet, it's like really sad. It's as sad as when I go back home because I don't have a dad, so it's quiet there. Why are you laughing? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna tell my dad about a joke? He's not here, he's dead. Like that, people get so offended. So yeah, it was so bad that I could hear the glass at the back there. Like I could hear the bartender at the back clinking glasses, and he had to say sorry to me. Do you know how bad is that for your self-esteem? It's so bad that I've not recovered until today. So yeah, but unfortunately, I had to go through with it and ask them, and I give them the most Malaysian thing ever to say, maaf, saya datang salah counter tadi. So that's all I have to say. Alright, thank you very much, everyone.
It's kind of warm.
Terence, fire up, that's why.
Okay, thank you, Terence, Elma. Alright, next up, Azizan Afi. Azizan Afi is the most cynical idealist, the most idealistic cynic, and the classiest hobo you'll ever meet. I'm excited. So, Azizan Afi.
Let's change the mood of the room. I want you to think about that Dio song, the chorus. Not White Flag, the other one. This is a really cheesy one. It's called People Like You and Me. There's always something to say. They say good things will stay, but I'm too used to changes. Feel like responsibilities chain us to a system that don't care. I'm there today. I say my piece today. I'm waiting for a kiss today. I wait for you on the sofa, falling asleep slowly, thinking of my empty fridge. I'll admit I'm still hungry. Maybe we can have dinner and hold hands in the park after dark. Mark our spot, make out where nobody can see all of my vulnerabilities. Or you could stay in and watch a movie. It's what we always say. And fall asleep, you kiss my cheek, and we'll forget the world is a not so good place for people like you and me. We'll see it all, we say, like we haven't seen it all. And they say good things stay. Days like this make me feel like I can take the future for whatever it may. And there's always something to say. I wrote this song at 2 a.m. hoping it's not wrong to hope for a miracle that I'd be less cynical about life in general. I've been feeling less nowadays. I've been numbing myself with dopamine. Whether if it's the depression or growing old. Man, I wish I'd sold my soul sooner. I'm a late bloomer, still a punk rocker, still bitter. I won't do life proper. My mom said I should be a better brother. And you said you don't mind the mess, but I still tidy up when you're coming over. We'll stay in and cuddle to rainy weather. We'll stay in and won't be a bother to anyone. So why would we bother? Means I know why, but I don't bother. And we'll see it all. We say like we haven't seen it all. And they say good things stay. Days like this make me feel like I can take this world for whatever it may. Then I'll be out of your hair.
Aww.
Between lovers and suburbanites, dream hovers to a satellite, handing hearts to tomorrow's night, solemnly sworn to what it might become. The coming of a new light, stage fright, sunset, city light, take flight into the unknown. Take out fast food, take out fast food, I just might save my own life, or when I break the silence, sealing tight, a mason jar, inhale tar into my lungs, becoming stars, beckoning my new beginnings on Mars, blooming into Pythagoras harmony, a phyton of chorus within me, coiling a corpse within an empty space between celestial ceiling and my being in a breakbeat and hum, sampling the breaking dawn, sealing drum sounds, that's all. Talking of Satan's marching peace treaty on a stage where I die. Jamal said I must die every time before the mic. I'm tired. I'm tired of finding the rhyme. Dying, crying, dissecting my own life thoughts for what they might become. I ought to stay in line. I ought to be fine. I ought to be fine. I ought to be fine within the confines of my own mind. Maybe I will be fine. I'll be fine, not dying every time I say your name in vain. This stain in my brain that I call God, so choose my string once. Let it lie, indication that I'm alive, unlike hearts of the suburbanites. I'm sober now. Sober now. I don't know if I'm sober now. You're out there, am I sober now? I mean, wow, what a piece of work you made. What a pleasing cunt I made myself to become. And they say even a big gun I'm pulling out of the trunk, Tarantino will be proud, like, well done, son. And I can see that. Hell yeah, I'm excited, but don't be fixated on these bars or what's between the lines. We just are, I just am. Stay on mine. Foreign as an owl in city light. You lovely suburbanites. Lend me your empty hearts. Your satellite gift up all the answers that doesn't come from God. Your city lights. Tired. Tired. I'm just so tired.
Woo! Azizan, next. But before that, I have to apologize. We're running a little bit over time, but we have so many people who want to perform, so I hope they'll stay. Next up, we have our feature act, Jasmine Qistina. Jasmine is a Korean city girl who enjoys writing about things unsaid. She first performed her poetry in 2018 and has since represented Malaysia for the CEX Slam in Singapore. Jasmine has gotten the chance to be one of the featured poets for Jacket's second anniversary show and Gerak Budaya Bookstore on the event, Jalan Dalam first anniversary, and East Carnival Poetry Show, to name a few. She also has a poem published by The Hibiscus, a blog that celebrates women of Asian descent, and East Carnival's Main magazine. Currently, she is looking to explore and expand her art by experimenting with a more interactive style of spoken word poetry. So, Jasmine. So, everyone, I'm Jasmine. I'm a baby spoken word poet, and I'm so incredibly happy to be here. All of these poets I look up to, like, they're amazing. Spoken word poetry has taught me, what hasn't it taught me? It has taught me forgiveness and a lot of clarity and ultimately I think self-love. But tonight, I think I'll be performing something that talks about a lot about forgiveness. So this set is dedicated to me forgiving myself for a lot of stuff that I regret and go through. The first piece that I'm going to perform was written last year during the general elections. But you know, this is about my identity. It's something I struggle a lot with, and I hope you guys will enjoy this piece. So I need your help. Every time in this poem, when I say "Who am I?" you guys have to say "Hidup Melayu." Okay? Okay. So who am I? Okay, we'll start. This revolution started with two lovers. My mama, a fair woman named after a Piramli song, who fell in love with my Abba, a man with hitam manis skin, a charismatic Penangan. This revolution started when I was born with brown skin. Put this life in a box, they said, take here for Muslim and here for Malayu. Now I struggle to find God and I struggle to learn my roots. Who am I? Revolusi, 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 I scream in my mother's tongue, but my father's blood in me, the one from somewhere in Tenkasi, it struggles to shake Tamil words, the ones that don't spell out revolution, but more of I matter too. How do two lovers unite when one is left behind? Who am I? Dari kecil sampai sekarang, I've been a walking crossover episode. Some people say I banyak mix. Bakata, King Coco, like it's great that my parents met, but it's not great when I got called Kaling at 8 by my best friend. So I water down this Tamil blood until the crimson fades. I learned to love only one side of me, try to keep the other foreign tongue of mine tied down like a shameful family secret. Two lovers, always in battle, I still struggle. Who am I? You don't know. But midnights have grown shorter and I'm learning the answers. Hypnotized by my own skin as I teeter off oblivion, falling into a new dimension unexplored for so many years. Follow the scents of jasmine flowers. Did you know they smell strongest in the darkness? With my Abba's nose, he gave me, I smell your bullshit from a mile away. That kind of we don't discriminate shit. That we are all equal shit. That one Malaysia shit. With my mama's eyes, I realize your lies. That clown mask you wear, it's cracking and I see the coward behind it. This revolution started with two lovers. My parents. My blood that is my identity, that is my country. Tanah tumpahnya darahku, I used to sing in school almost every day for 12 years. This revolution started from Tamil Nadu to Perak, to Penang, to Kedah, to Kuala Lumpur, to my mother's womb, to me. Revolusi ini untuk kita semua. Both sides of me, all sides of us, we are one. It cannot be denied. We cannot be denied. Woo! Thank you. So this next piece is written about KL. I really love this city. I think, yeah, I do. I love this city. Yeah, and it's called From KL to You. Hari sudah mendung. Tiba masa hujan datang bisik hujah di telinga. Rintik-rintik air tangisanmu membasahi kota pipi ini. Membasahi pipi kota ini. Have you ever lived in a city damp from rain, yet still hot from the sun? Suasana yang sentiasa tenang dan bising, huru-hara kalang kabut, there's never a dull moment with me. How's it going, Budak Bandar? Look at you go with your shoes too clean to lose. I've got boys with too many toys, and my girls, we like to wear red lips. Can't help but look at their hips. How's it going, Budak Bandar? City life is tough, but KL is a diamond in the rough. You just can't get enough. I'm a city you love to hate, an inspiration to create a place for a clean slate. Yeah, I give your memories a little bit of weight. Stare at my city lights. My skyline is a dream. But don't be fooled, always keep on your toes. You might just catch the late night fights. See still, I'm a harsh reality. But we are family, a precious anomaly with unrecognized autonomy. How's it going, Budak Bandar? Your pain can be best seen under the streetlights. strings tight on your back, a puppet of money, a facade of glory, loud motorbikes, like painful coughs, a stomach grumble, as if the city is asking, dah makan ke? Hidup KL is a struggle, a concrete jungle, budak bandar macam haiwan yang lapar. Kuala Lumpur, a city of youth and hunger. Yeah, I make you stronger. Trust my city lights. These streets have seen it all. Jangan kau lupa malam euforia kita. When the world felt limitless and we were timeless. I'm your first city love. A romance no other place can replicate, though many try to duplicate. To my KL kids, born and raised, jangan lupa tanah modern ini, jangan kau lupa Kuala Lumpur ini. This is my last piece for the night. Have you guys heard the phrase, there's plenty of fish in the sea? Yeah. Okay. So this one was written about that phrase. I'm always caught in a whirlpool after you finish. The words, how did I get here, float close by as I spin. You see, I wasn't looking for any fishes, but you said you liked my fins, so I let you kiss me. And you said you liked my dives, so I let you swim in me. Maybe I'm not drowning. Maybe my thoughts about you are just mimicking the curves of your scales because they're just as hypnotized by them as I am. Our waters do not even mix. This distance doesn't matter because regardless whether you're an hour away or seeking warmth in my body, I can never feel you. I wasn't looking for any fishes, but I was missing the pain. I don't drag blades on my skin anymore, but when I tell you to go harder, maybe it's me trying to make a blade out of you. I don't float out too close to the surface, but when you choke me, I get the same rush. And like always, it fades as you release my gills and pour yourself all over me. You even disrupt my slumber from all that salt you left in my throat. But it's probably because I'm spiritually awakening and this new religion I'm seeking is you. The other fishes are all morphed into one being that fumbles with my books. So how can it not be you who's the captain of my ship when the others are just blurry images in the water? Woo! Thank you so much, Jasmine. Next, I would like to invite Ariff Naqiuddin. Ariff is an engineer by day, a poet by heart, and frequents open mics around Slang Valley, aiming for the atmosphere.
Hi guys. I wrote a new poem. I don't really write much because of this event mainly. It can go both ways. It can be good. It can be bad. For the most, I'm gonna apologize first. In the poem, it goes like, this house believes that never will I ever join the debate championship. And in this poem, DABATE is defined by a formal discussion of a particular matter in public meeting of the legislative assembly, in which opposing arguments are put forward and which usually ends with a vote. Or in my own definition, is the occasion to put forward motions for the opposition to take debate. Point of information. Status quo indicates I'm not a debater. At least, I no longer am. The only yardstick I have in this matter is the amount of time that I was, which is short. But it is a stick that I will wave around like an entitlement macam tak biasa. A stick is still a stick. A stick is still a stick, and I still can make you feel my presence, and I'll make it stick.
Check. Why are we talking about sticks?
And now you know how swirling the motion looks like. Moving on to my extension. As my verses line up in two sides, the government and the opposition because I'm Asian like that. I like seeing things in two dimensions, Lee Chong Wei and Yin Dan. Passing their shuttlecock of arguments left, right, yes, no, agree or disagree. It's as simple as it can be. It's a little different when you go British. You gotta defend your front and your back. So back your words, but never offend. The enemy of your enemy isn't necessarily your friend. Or we could always go for Australs. But no one really talks about Australs. Debat bukan budaya kita. Ada seorang yang kata, jadi buat apa ada debat ni raja? Tapi ironiknya kalau ikutkan budaya seni berbicara, berbalasan perbualan, perbahasan kita kaya dengan cara kita berbalas pantun, berbalas hujah, mana sopan, mana santun, macam mana nak menang kalau main terjang. Whipping this piece right back on track. I hope that my piece does not get too much flack. I'll round up this piece with a closing speech. It's less about winning and more about saying what needs to be said and how it's been said. Terpekik terlolong siapa nak tolong. The method of the matter must come with the manner. And please remember, debat may not be your budaya, and if you bersuara, kau mungkin marah bahaya. And with that, this poet reiterates that this house believes that never will I ever join the debate competition, and I take this motion.
I believe that you are ready.
Okay, second poem. Are you ready before the Gillette ad? It certainly fits. Like, wow. It's called Real Boys. And it goes like this. Growing up as the eldest boy, there are things you need to employ in an unwritten tradition, sung like gospel in the name of being real. This societal heirloom passed down from generations X and Y comes in 5. 1. Real boys don't cry. Scream away their problems, put a mask over your conscience, don't let them see a single tear or they'll tear you apart. 2. Real boys must be physical, strong, and tough. The alpha amongst the omega. If they don't recognize it, show them. An unsolicited depiction for your testosterone validation. 3. Real boys don't do what girls do. We're not meant to be in the kitchen. Boys are meant to understand toolboxes, not thread with thread, so you'll be seen as a threat. I still can't tell the difference between burgundy and maroon, but I've seen those who do. Maroon to a corner. I guess they should have been holding a spanner. 4. Real boys must speak loudly and boldly, their voice echoing the force of thousand conviction, drawing distinction with sonic friction. Our own voice is an entitlement we have grown fond of. 5. Boys can get away with anything. Our body is our own excuse. Never chain down to anyone's judgment. Boys will always be boys, they say. But repercussion is a noun only taught to our sisters. These are the 5 pillars our society has grown accustomed to. But what happens when you choose to refuse? What happens when you're different? Was Zulfarhan not a boy because he forgot number 4? Was Naveen a victim because people say he's not number 3? You often wonder what makes a victim a target. We forget to question those who drew the bullseye. They think number 2 was the truest of them all. Did number 5 make them feel invincible and tall? So excuse me when I refuse to partake in your circle jerk of hashtag toxic masculinity, of your hashtag masculinity so fragile, of your hashtag not all men, but hashtag enough men, because 5, real boys can get away with anything. But real men takes responsibility. Boys won't always be boys. 4, real boys speaks loud and bold, but empty cannon rattles the most. Even a silent crack can bring down a building. 3, real boys don't do what girls do, but your mother will always be there to help. You say boys are meant to fix stuff, so fix your bent priorities straight, not the erection of your goddamn ego. Real boys must be physical, strong, and tough, but was it strength that carries your punches as you iron down their lifeline flat? They only see depths and active weakness. Now their bodies are just battered shells. With tracks no prayers can ever piece together, the dead are the ones who can understand peace. The burden now lies with living. 1. Real boys don't cry. Now, neither must.
Thank you so much, Ariff. I think the beginners really enjoyed the first one. second last show of the night, we have Syafiq Bakhtiar, also known as MC Steve. Born in Borneo, MC Steve is a veteran MC, writer, and timeless poet diagnosed with rhymatitis. Winning championship belts in the arena of public speaking, debating, and battle rap, he is a monster on the mic and a beast on the beats. I was impressed as I was reading that. Although he is a savage lyrically, your friendly neighborhood rapper is also known for dedicating his time and efforts to freeing individuals from the fears of public speaking via workshops and articles. That was so good. Stay.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Bakhtiar. Probably the only rapper that introduces himself proper and not too obsessed with looking dapper. I'm not down with that rapping thing. I think it's a trap in the making. Right, so I'm diagnosed with rhymatitis. It's a psychoneurotic disorder in which the mind is always rhyming, like all the time, man. I have a very high rhyme frequency. You can see I'm rhyming very frequently. See. So I have a piece called Seek. That's what I think 2018 has been a lot for me. It's not just a place where I had to speak, but it's also a place where I found my peak, where I was strong, where I was weak. I mean, I'm not even starting yet. This is just how I speak. It's a real thing. Yes, you should Google it. You guys have to do that now, right? Google something while you're watching it. It's very weird. You should be watching it if you're watching it. Don't be Googling. All right. So it's about what you do when your mind is weak. And I think that's where we all fall, and we all have our downsides, and we have our very down times. That's where we all see where characters meet. So during the tough times, when your mind is weak, don't listen to the others. When they speak, you can depend on another to reach the peak. Look inside your mind, discover you better seek. MC Stiff checking in, checking on you in the poem. How you doing? How you feeling? Tell me what is going on. I mean, everybody's got a story. You got your own journey you're on. So tell me, are we going strong? Or is anything wrong? I mean, we're either happy or sad, feeling crappy or glad. Are we attracting the bad, wishing there's something we have? Now I'm relating to that. Because nobody's clear on the facts. We're all circling in laps. I guess that's what we have on track. Yeah. But sometimes you gotta pause, resist that reflex, the pain. You gotta sit back, chill, relax your brain, refresh your mind, and do it again in case it affects your gains. So you reset your mind, and you gotta do it all again. Sometimes you need to restore, recharge. We all need a break before we all fall, bleed, and break. Spare a brief moment in a week. I mean, don't stop, just breathe. Gotta let that momentum keep giving signs that you're close to the peak. I mean, you define your grind. Don't tell them. Don't let them say, where's your peak? They don't know what they say whenever they speak. So during the tough times when your mind is weak, don't listen to the others. When they speak, you can depend on another to reach your peak. Look inside your mind, the truth you better seek. So I mean invest in yourself. And not depressed if you suppress your own true colors. So please stop depending on each other. And the test is not to compare yourself to the wealth, timeline, and success of others. I mean, believe me, we all been down in the gutter. And really, nobody's proud to be under. You gotta take a step back, reflect, allow your cloud and your thunder, go wander, go strong, don't ponder too long. I mean, keep moving on, stay to your ways, honor your honor. Screw the haters, they ain't got nothing on you. So during the tough times when your mind is weak, don't listen to the others when they speak. You can depend on them others to reach your peak. Look inside, discover, you better seek. Lastly, potential, more important than credentials. It's essential. Without it, there's just no trust. I mean, you can live everyday living. That's the point? There's really no point if it's not a bit of lust. You gotta have that trust. Because sometimes you gotta readjust. And it's not just about the bust, but it's about the things that you do when you're down, wet, scattered, and rust. I don't care about tenses. People say I speak different. They say, stiff, you should rap, you should sing, you should stick to a genre. I guess stiff is different because stiff is the genre. I mean, I can come up here and conjure my own mantra, but it's okay. I don't want to be wrapped up tight like a mummy humble mantra. But I just don't want to be here and abrupt here. I want to stop here. I want to tell you that potential, you have so much. Without it, there is just no trust. Because you gotta touch the cells, and you know that you gotta reach inside to see the wheat grow if you want to even touch the crust. That's sometimes the things that you gotta adjust. So during the tough times, when your mind is weak, don't listen to the others when they speak. You can't depend on your mother, your brother, your father, your grandfather to reach your peak. Look inside your mind. Truth you can find if you rewind, because you can find your grind only if you seek. Yeah. Yeah, it's new government, right? I'm not gonna go to IS. I mean, how long has it been since you look at the news and you're like, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. One of the opinions I gave. So, I had one piece I wrote while I was in university. We all graduated from Marican. I had everyone say Hidup Melayu. This is what we were trying to do, right? Never mind. It's called I'm So Malay. So yes, I'm so Malay. Yes, I'm so Malay. Yes, I'm half Malay, but guess what? I'm still Malay. What? Wake up early? Are you crazy? I'm Malay, y'all. No, for me, lazy. I can't see. My vision's all hazy. No matter how I fail, there's people that saves me. I can be in the bottom, but still on top, because I'm Malay, y'all. For me, there's always a spot. I mean, I'm still gonna win even if I get a trash in. Education, affirmative action. I got my mind ruptured, my mind's a plenty. I'm blaming that all on my subsidy mentality. I mean, I look Malay, dog. If you really have a problem, yes, I drink alcohol, but I'll never eat pork, man. So yes, I'm so Malay. Yes, I'm so Malay. Yes, I'm half Malay, but it doesn't matter. I'm still Malay. Thank you, people.
Alright, thank you so much for that, Steve. It's down memory lane. Alright, we have our final act for tonight. I would like to call, yes, the kid agrees with me, Azam Rais. Azam Rais is a spoken word artist who focuses on social themes and rhyme schemes. Through his work in arts, activism, and poetry for social causes like mental health, anti-sexual harassment, anti-pedophilia, etc., he has been featured on news outlets such as Aswawani, The Star, NST, The Sun Free Malaysia Today, and BFM Radio, among others. Along with his colleagues, he founded Poet Acts, Malaysia's first ever poetry podcast aimed at progressing the local poetry scene online. Most recently, Azam represented Malaysia and was crowned the 2018 Asia Pacific Poetry Slam Champion against Singapore, Indonesia, and Philippine poets at Singapore's Lirak Festival. He was also featured at Festival Publica Penang by Tourism Malaysia, Festival Museum Nelayan by Dewan Bahasa dan Pustaka, and Dance Poetry Ensemble Ketika Bumiku Menari at DPAC and PWTC, among many others. So, with so much happiness, I'm going to invite Azam Rais.
I was walking down the street the other night. I saw a pretty little thing. She was just out of sight. But when she stepped into the light, it was red stilettos and fishnet tights. She said, "Sir, you're looking real expensive, like you've got my name. If you're feeling generous, I could be your company. Fulfill your fantasy, at least tonight, sir. Don't have me feel long." Well, me, I said, "Miss, I'm not looking for fun. Me, I'm more looking for a wife. Yes, you can have my cash, but would you mind if I asked, what makes you choose this kind of life?" She said, "Sir, don't be so quick to judge a girl. Listen close and listen well, for my story I will tell." She said, "I was just 16 when I met this boy. I thought I found love, but all he found was a toy. And like the pages of a book, he was an educated crook. Oh, how he broke into my body, but my heart is what he took. Oh, don't have me mistook, 'cause my bed, he still shook. And every time he did so, I had him mistook, 'cause in my head, his love was something new. But in his bed, my love was nothing new." And this went on for a month or two. I thought I found love and I thought he found it too. But alas, I was too obtuse, 'cause he only wanted me for his own use. Oh, how he squeezed that lemon till there's no more juice, and then walked out the door with no excuse. And so he left. And me, sir, well, I couldn't stay, 'cause I couldn't pay. And so I ran from my rent, and I fled from my fees. I was desperate, I was on my knees. Guys, I felt so bad for her. So I sat down beside her and I said, "Hey, miss, I hear the stories that you tell, the things that they buy and sell. I want you to know I mean you well. And I am so, so sorry that your world has been hell." Guys, do you know what she said to me? She said, "No, no, 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 sir. Don't be so quick to judge my world." She said, "You listen close and you listen well, for this truth I will tell." She said, "We are all poor in this world. We only choose the parts to sell. Oh, look how the clever sell their brains, and looks by the vain. Look how we poets sell our pain, but they buy it all the same. Look how the strong sell their backs and the willing sell their sacks. Look how these singers sell their tracks and politicians sell their facts. Look how the mighty fool the meek, and the bright fool the bleak. So, sir, can't you see that every day we sell our souls to corporations that buy us whole? So if it's truth I have told, and it's truth I will tell, sir, we are all whores in this world. We only choose which parts to sell. My first poem called "For." It's a conversation that I had with a prostitute, and it made me realize so many more things, that we don't only abuse or discriminate our sex workers so much, but we don't realize that they were in a situation, oftentimes, majority of the times, because they are victims. So realize that, everybody sells something. My second poem is a poem in Malay. I hope that's not a problem with all of you. mostly Malay. All right. Yeah. So the first poem is about never will I ever judge people without knowing them again. And the second poem is about having fake friends. It's called Orang Banyak Jenis. Ada yang buruk, ada yang baik, ada yang jatuh, ada baru naik. Ada yang sudi setia, ada hanya fikir tentang dia. Ini lumrah manusia, yang baik disia-sia, ada yang rajin mengukur, tapi lupa bersyukur. Ada yang buta, ada membuta, ada yang suka membuat luka. Ada yang berniat hasad dengki, yang gemar mendengar tentang duka orang lain. Ada suka dengar cerita dan berita tentang derita orang lain. Ada suka main-main. Hey, di depan bersalaman tapi belakang bersaing-saing. Hey, kau faham? Orang banyak jenis. Ada yang tangkas seperti arnab, ada perlahan seperti kura-kura, ada yang pandai beradab, ada pandai berpura-pura, ada yang seperti burung terkurung, murung berkurung lamanya. Ada punya ilmu tanpa guna, ibarat askar tanpa senjata. Ada yang curi hati, ada yang curi tulang, ada yang curiga, ada yang curi wang. Kau faham? Hey, orang banyak jenis. Ada berganja, ada berganja, ada yang hanya gila bersaja, ada yang cari kata putus tapi putus kata-katanya, ada cari makhluk halus tapi syaitan dalam dirinya. Hey, orang banyak jenis. Jadi sedar-sedar, kawan. Hanya perawan yang buat hatimu tertawan, hanya ilusi mata. Asap dan kamera, foto-foto gembira. Di social media, you understand? Hey, there are many kinds of people in this world. Some kneel before God, some kneel before kings, some kneel before men, and some for material things, you understand? Sorry for taking your time. The last one is a poem about the drug culture in Malaysia. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, so people think this is too seen. Hope you guys are with it. Anyway, this is called Addict. I am an addict, and this I know for sure. Addicted to the things that I hadn't been before. Yeah, I am an addict, and this you'll know for sure, for I'm not the same person as I was before. But I can't be the only addict in MIDP tonight now, can I? Come on, guys, be honest with me. And tell me this, tell me, do you like hugs? Or do you like drugs? Do you like the things that make you feel like thugs? Or do you like to drink, and how many jugs? Hey, do you like hugs? Or do you like drugs? Tell me, do you smoke weed? Just to give you what you need. Do you smoke a lot or just a little bit? Do you roll J's or do you take a hit? Hey, do you smoke weed? Does it really give you what you need? Or do you pop pills? I'm so sorry. Just to give you all the thrills. Did you choose speed or did you choose to chill? Hey, do you do drugs on your own free will? Tell me, do you pop pills? Does it really give you all the thrills? Or is Hennessy your cup of tea? Hey, sipping martinis or diamond whiskey. Hey, do you get drunk or just tipsy? Hey, do you have a drink just to make life easy? Tell me, do you snore and pay just to make you feel okay? Do you feel the down when the high goes away? Do you do drugs just to get you through the day? And do you know that life doesn't have to be that way? You see, I personally love a lot of things. But truly, truly, I'm only addicted to a few. See, I'm addicted to the stage, and I'm addicted to this view. And I'm addicted to the words that you just heard me say. But most of all, I'm addicted to applause.
I guess that's the end of our show. So I would like to end this by saying thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. This is our first open mic event. You have no idea how honored we are to have all of these great poets and spoken word artists and rap artists. I don't know, I just created a word. We're really so happy to see all of you guys here. We'll be hosting a lot more of this, hopefully. So thank you so much for supporting us. Do come again next time. And we have so many great poets. They sell their zines and their books, and there are a lot of events coming up. So do talk to them about that. If you want to know more about MIDP, that's me, that's Azizan, that's Michelle will be here. So there's still drinks and some food. There's Milo ice if you like that with your cigarettes outside, but don't throw rubbish everywhere because environment. So I guess that's the end of it.
There are some people who want to do some.
Yeah, okay. So that's the end of the official thing. But that's a slide after party, I guess. So for those who still want to perform, you're welcome to. For those who want to leave because it's late, up to you. I understand. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave the stage now. No? No? Sajani is. Sajani. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you for coming up and media. Nice to see you. Bye.
Oh, really? Community engagement. Okay.
So you're not.
No, I'm not. But I appreciate this. Yes, we do. The biggest part of the game is and your boyfriend is so she's like but she's already made it. We just read books now.
Okay, is that